Stick around and we'll get right to it. Hey, welcome back guys. Jason KM4ACK. I wanted to talk to you just for a few minutes today about building an offline library. This is a rabbit hole that I have been going down for quite some time. I've always saved any documentation that I thought I might need when I was out and into the field. So you're looking at my reference directory right now on the screen. You'll see that I've got maps and I've got a ham radio section, generator manuals, APK files for something that I might want to reload onto an Android device, all kinds of things in this area. So we're going to talk briefly about some of the things that I've got here today. I want to show you where to find some additional information, and then I'm going to follow this up with another video, because once you see the next piece of this puzzle, you're really going to want to take a deeper dive once you realize what all you can get on your system. And it's fairly easy to do. But let's take a look at my ham radio section here first, and you'll see that I've just got a lot of different reference material in here. So let's say I'm doing something with the Aries group. I've got all of the different information available to me in this directory right here. If we take a look at the miscellaneous documents, you'll just see that these are various things that I have found and downloaded and saved over the years. Let's say you're going to be running a section of DC cable and you need to know what size wire you would use for that particular application. Well, you can pull up this chart right here that I've got saved offline and have all of that data. So that gives you kind of an idea of the type of data that I'm keeping right here available offline and locally for me. You'll also see a lot of user guides that I hang on to and other things. But here's the cool part of this particular setup. I can start a web server on my Linux device, and I can share this over a wireless network to anyone else connected to that particular network. Now, it doesn't have to have the internet, but everyone does have to be on the same network. But once you're on that network, you open a browser and you're seeing everything right here that I have saved in my ham radio directory. So if you want to take a look at user manuals, you will see all of the various user manuals that I have saved on my device. I've even gone and scanned every one of the nifty guides that I've ever purchased so that I've got a digital copy of those as well. Now, the other thing I want you to take a look at is something called Kiwix. This is a really cool project, and it is fairly simple to get set up and running on your device. And like I said, I'm going to cover how to set this up and get it running in another video. I don't want to get off into the weeds on that right now. But for instance, I've got the entire Wikipedia downloaded. Now, this was a big download. I think it's 110 or 120 gigs of data. I downloaded the one that included the pictures. You can save some size if you don't want the photographs. But this is available completely offline, running in my browser. So all of this data is being stored on an external hard drive. But let's say you want some information on a dipole antenna. Well, we can simply search for that right up here in the search box. And if I just click on that first result, that's going to take me to a page that gives me all of this data on a dipole antenna. If we decide that we need to click on one of these links to find more information, well, that is also in this offline catalog. So if I click on that, it takes me right to that section. Now, the one thing I have learned is if we go all the way to the bottom, a lot of the reference material is not contained in this. That's going to point you back to an online resource. But the vast majority of everything you would need is here inside of Wikipedia. And that is a zip file that I was able to just download. But you're also able to create your own zip files if you need to. For instance, I grabbed the entire Yak help file and put that into a zip file so that it's available through my browser completely offline. So let's answer the question that I know you're going to have, and that is, where do we go to download all of this data? Well, there's a few different tools. The first one that we can use is library.kiwix.org, and this is where I found the entire Wikipedia download. Now, obviously that's going to be updated as time goes on, so this is something you're going to have to keep up to date. You'd have to download a new copy, say in 6 months to a year, but a lot of that information never changes. Only portions of it do. But if we go here to library.kiwix.org, you can see all of the different zim files that they have available for you. And there's a lot of different ones. I've downloaded several for programming, so the Python documentation, some Python tutorials. I've got the Bash documentation, which is what I wrote 73 Linux in. I've got the YAD documentation that I've downloaded. I've got a lot of different data that I have downloaded. I think right now I'm sitting at 150, maybe 160 gigs of data. I'd have to go look to be certain, and that is all on a 512 gig hard drive. So it doesn't take a super large drive, but it depends on how much data you're going to download. So you can see all of the different information that's available here just at the kiwix.org website. Now, if you wanted to build your own zim file based on a website, you can use zimit.kiwix.org. And guys, I'll leave links to all of this down in the description below. But this one is pretty easy to do. It does take a little bit of time, but it is fairly easy to get this going. So you simply put your URL right here in this first box. So let's use k8mrdiswrong.com. You are going to need to give it your email address because it will send you an email with a download link once this has completed. And like I said, this can take a couple of hours to go through and scrape the website and package it all up, but it works really well from my experience so far. One thing I have found is under the advanced options, go ahead and click that, and we're going to scroll down until we find this extra hops. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's how many links down it goes when it's looking for data. So let's just tell it to go 2 extra hops here, and then we can scroll on down and click the Let's Zim It button. After we click that, it's going to bring you back to this page. Now, you can cancel the request, or you can just wait for it to finish. If you do choose to leave this browser window open, it will give you a download link here, but you don't have to do that. You can close it. It's going to send you an email once this is finished that will provide you with a link that you can use to download your new zim file. And the last resource I want to show you guys is Internet Archive. This is a huge archive of all kinds of data. So whatever you happen to be looking for, you can come right here and search for. Let's say we want to look for something on carpentry. Once you get the search results, you can just skim through this, and anything that you want pretty much is available to download. Now, I typically use, let's take a look at this finished carpentry book right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, give that a second to load up. What I typically do, though, is I come down here and, okay, this one is not available for download, and you will run into that. Some of the newer publications you can't download. So let's take a look at something that's probably an older publication like this one right here. And if you look right here under the download options, we've got several different formats that we can use. Now, typically, I just grab a PDF file. This one is going to be 10 megabytes, but if that's something that I was interested in, then I can go ahead and click the download right there and grab that file. If you want to take and look at the book or the document or whatever before you download it, you can go ahead and flip through a lot of these and be able to see exactly what you're downloading in advance. But the Internet Archive has been a very valuable resource while I was building my offline library. Guys, if you found today's information helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up before you head off. Stick around and we will have another video coming soon that will show you exactly how to get Kiwix installed and running so you can do all of this in your web browser as well. Until next time, 7-3.